Understanding the emotional and financial challenges after losing a spouse. Losing a spouse is one of the most difficult experiences anyone can face, especially in later life. The emotional weight of grief can be overwhelming, often leaving individuals feeling lost and uncertain about the future. But beyond the heartache, there are also significant financial decisions that must be made during this vulnerable time, decisions that can have long-lasting consequences. This video series is designed to guide you through the 5 most common and costly mistakes people make after losing their partner, so you can protect both your emotional well-being and your financial stability. We understand that navigating legal documents, retirement accounts, Social Security benefits, and even everyday household responsibilities can feel like an impossible task when you're grieving. That's why we're breaking this topic down into manageable parts, each focusing on a specific mistake to avoid. In this first segment, we'll introduce the overall theme of the series, explain why it's so important to approach these decisions with care, and preview the 5 key areas we'll be covering in detail throughout the rest of the video. The goal here isn't just to prevent financial missteps. It's also about empowering you with knowledge so that you can move forward with confidence. Whether you've already started making decisions or you're still trying to process everything, this series will provide practical advice and reassurance. We'll walk you through real-life scenarios, offer expert insights, and highlight the importance of seeking professional guidance when necessary. So, if you're over 60 and currently dealing with the loss of your spouse, or if you want to prepare yourself for what might come, you're in the right place. Let's begin by exploring the emotional landscape of widowhood and how it intersects with financial decision-making. From there, we'll dive into each of the 5 costly mistakes, starting with the very first one: rushing into major financial decisions too soon after the loss. Mistake number 1: rushing into major financial decisions too soon after the loss. When grief strikes, it's natural to want to take action, to do something that feels productive, something that might bring a sense of control back into your life. However, making big financial decisions in the immediate aftermath of losing a spouse can lead to serious consequences. It's crucial to recognize that the early stages of grief are not the best time to sell property, close joint bank accounts, or make changes to investments without careful consideration. One of the most common mistakes we see is people hastily selling their homes shortly after their spouse passes away. While it may seem practical, especially if the house feels too big or filled with painful memories, it's important to pause and think through the implications. Selling too quickly could mean missing out on potential market gains, paying unnecessary taxes, or overlooking better housing alternatives. Additionally, the emotional stress of moving during such a vulnerable time can compound grief rather than alleviate it. Another area where rush decisions often occur is in managing retirement accounts and pensions. Many couples hold joint accounts or have complex estate plans that require careful review before any withdrawals or transfers are made. For example, withdrawing large sums from a retirement account immediately after a spouse's death could result in unexpected tax liabilities or penalties. Similarly, making hasty decisions about inherited IRAs or pensions without understanding the rules could cost thousands in avoidable fees. Beyond real estate and retirement funds, everyday financial choices, like closing joint credit cards or changing beneficiaries, can also have unintended consequences. These actions might affect your credit score, insurance coverage, or even eligibility for certain benefits. What seems like a simple administrative change could trigger a cascade of financial complications if not approached thoughtfully. The key takeaway here is patience. Give yourself permission to grieve without pressure to make irreversible decisions. Seek professional advice before taking any major financial steps. A financial advisor, attorney, or estate planner can help you evaluate your options and ensure that you're making informed choices based on your long-term needs rather than short-term emotions. In the next section, we'll explore another critical mistake: failing to update legal documents and beneficiary designations. This oversight can create confusion and disputes among surviving family members, so it's essential to address it as part of your post-loss planning. Mistake number 2: failing to update legal documents and beneficiary designations after the passing of a spouse. Many people overlook the importance of updating legal documents and beneficiary designations, a mistake that can lead to confusion, delays, and even legal disputes among surviving family members. While it's understandable that dealing with paperwork may be the last thing on your mind during a time of grief, ensuring that your legal affairs are in order is crucial for protecting your assets and providing clarity for your loved ones. One of the most overlooked aspects is updating your will. If your spouse was named as a primary beneficiary or executor, their passing means that your existing will may no longer reflect your current wishes. Without an updated will, state laws may dictate how your assets are distributed, which may not align with your intentions. Even if you have a living trust, it's important to review its terms and make necessary revisions to reflect your new circumstances. Similarly, beneficiary designations on retirement accounts, life insurance policies, and payable on death (POD) bank accounts should be reviewed and updated. These designations typically override what is stated in a will, meaning that if you don't update them, your assets could go to someone who is no longer alive or to someone you no longer intend to benefit. This can lead to unnecessary complications and potentially costly legal battles among heirs. Healthcare directives and powers of attorney are also critical documents that should be revisited. If your spouse was designated as your healthcare proxy or financial power of attorney, their passing leaves those roles vacant. Without updated documents, your medical and financial decisions may be left to the courts or to individuals who may not fully understand your preferences. Taking the time to work with an experienced estate planning attorney can help ensure that all your legal documents accurately reflect your current situation and wishes. They can guide you through the process of updating your will, trusts, beneficiary forms, and other essential paperwork, giving you peace of mind knowing that your affairs are in order. In the next section, we'll discuss another costly error: mishandling Social Security and pension benefits. Understanding how these benefits change after the loss of a spouse can help you maximize your income and avoid unnecessary financial strain. Mistake number 3: mishandling Social Security and pension benefits when a spouse passes away. It's crucial to understand how Social Security and pension benefits may change, as failing to manage these transitions properly can result in lost income or missed opportunities. Many survivors are unaware of the full range of benefits they may be entitled to, and incorrect assumptions can lead to financial setbacks that could have been avoided with proper planning. One of the most significant considerations is the impact on Social Security payments. If your deceased spouse earned a higher income than you did, you may be eligible to receive a survivor benefit that replaces your own retirement benefit. However, many people mistakenly assume they must continue receiving their own benefit without realizing they could receive a larger amount by switching to the survivor benefit. Timing plays a key role here. Waiting until full retirement age or later can result in a higher payout, while claiming too early can reduce the total amount received over time. Pension benefits also require careful attention. If your spouse had a defined benefit pension plan, you may be entitled to a survivor annuity, which provides ongoing payments after their death. However, some pension plans allow employees to choose between different payout options at retirement, and selecting a single life annuity without a survivor component would mean that payments stop entirely upon their death. If this was the case, you may need to explore alternative sources of income or consider whether any additional protections were in place. Additionally, some employers offer death benefits or lump sum payouts to surviving spouses, which can provide temporary financial relief but may also have tax implications. Understanding whether these payments are taxable and how they interact with other benefits is essential for effective financial planning. To avoid mishandling these benefits, it's wise to contact the Social Security Administration and speak with a representative who can explain your options. Similarly, reaching out to your spouse's former employer or pension administrator can clarify what survivor benefits are available. Seeking advice from a financial planner or elder law attorney can also help ensure that you make informed decisions tailored to your unique situation. In the final section of this video, we'll cover the last costly mistake: neglecting health insurance and medical expense planning. Making sure you have the right coverage in place can prevent unexpected financial burdens and ensure continued access to necessary healthcare services. Mistake number 4: neglecting health insurance and medical expense planning after the loss of a spouse. Losing a spouse often means more than just emotional loss. It can also mean losing access to shared health insurance coverage, especially if your spouse was the primary policyholder. This is one of the most overlooked yet critical areas that can lead to significant financial strain in the months and years following a spouse's passing. Many seniors rely on their spouse's employer-sponsored health insurance plan well into retirement, particularly before becoming eligible for Medicare or when supplementing it with additional coverage. When that spouse passes away, that coverage typically ends, leaving you with only a short window, often 30 to 60 days, to secure new health insurance. Failing to act quickly during this period can result in gaps in coverage, which could leave you vulnerable to high out-of-pocket medical costs. If you're already on Medicare, the change may not seem as urgent, but even then, you might have had a Medigap, Medicare supplement, policy, or a Medicare Advantage plan tied to your spouse's benefits or employer group plan. In some cases, those policies may no longer be valid once your spouse is gone. It's essential to review all current health insurance documents and contact the insurance provider directly to confirm your status and what options are available moving forward. One of the most important steps you should take is enrolling in or updating your Medicare coverage. If you lose coverage due to your spouse's death, you qualify for a special enrollment period, SEP, under Medicare. This allows you to enroll in or make changes to your Medicare Advantage or Part D prescription drug plans without penalty. However, many people are unaware of this provision and miss the opportunity, leading to late enrollment penalties or reduced coverage. Additionally, if you are receiving health insurance through your spouse's former employer, such as retiree health benefits, you'll need to explore alternatives. These may include enrolling in a standalone Medicare Part C or D plan, purchasing a Medigap policy if you're still eligible, applying for Medicaid if you meet income requirements, looking into COBRA continuation coverage, though this can be expensive long-term. Another key consideration is long-term care planning. As we age, the likelihood of needing assisted living, nursing home care, or in-home healthcare services increases. The cost of such care can be staggering, and without proper planning, these expenses can quickly deplete savings. If your spouse passed away while in long-term care, you may now be responsible for ongoing bills or contracts that were previously covered by both of you. Also, don't overlook the importance of reviewing your prescriptions and medication costs. With a change in insurance, your medications may no longer be covered under the same terms, or they may move to a different tier in your formulary, increasing your monthly costs. Take time to compare plans and find one that best covers your specific needs. Lastly, consider whether you should seek assistance from local agencies or state programs designed to help seniors with healthcare costs. Many states offer prescription drug assistance programs, low-income subsidies, or other forms of support that can reduce your overall medical expenses. Failing to address these issues promptly can result in costly mistakes, ranging from uncovered emergency room visits to unaffordable prescription drugs. Don't let grief cloud your judgment when it comes to health insurance. Getting this right ensures you continue to receive the care you need without unnecessary financial stress. In the final part of this video, we'll discuss mistake number 5. Ignoring estate taxes and probate pitfalls, which can cause confusion, delays, and even legal disputes among heirs. Understanding how to navigate probate and minimize tax liabilities will help protect your family's inheritance and preserve your legacy. Mistake number 5. Ignoring estate taxes and probate pitfalls. When a spouse passes away, the surviving partner often becomes the sole executor or administrator of the estate, whether they feel ready for that responsibility or not. Unfortunately, many people overlook the complexities of estate taxes, probate procedures, and asset distribution, which can lead to avoidable complications, delays, and even legal disputes among heirs. First, let's clarify what probate is. Probate is the legal process through which a deceased person's assets are distributed, debts are paid, and any remaining property is transferred to beneficiaries. While some estates may bypass probate entirely, especially if proper estate planning was done beforehand, many estates still go through this formal process. Without a clear understanding of how probate works, surviving spouses can become overwhelmed trying to navigate court filings, creditor claims, and beneficiary conflicts. One common mistake is assuming that having a will automatically avoids probate. That's not the case. A will simply outlines who gets what, but the actual transfer of assets still requires validation through probate court unless those assets were placed in a trust or held jointly with rights of survivorship. Now, regarding estate taxes. While the federal estate tax exemption is quite high, currently over $12 million per individual in 2024, some states impose their own estate or inheritance taxes at much lower thresholds. For example, states like Massachusetts, Oregon, and New York have lower exemption limits, meaning an estate that doesn't owe federal taxes might still owe state-level taxes. Failing to account for this can result in unexpected tax bills that come out of the estate's assets, potentially reducing what's left for heirs. Another pitfall involves jointly owned property. Many couples hold real estate, bank accounts, or investment accounts jointly with rights of survivorship. When one spouse dies, the surviving spouse automatically inherits full ownership of those assets, which generally avoids probate. However, if those assets are not properly titled or if there's confusion about ownership, disputes can arise, especially if children from previous marriages are involved. A related issue is the failure to retitle assets after the death of a spouse. For instance, if you owned a home together, you'll need to update the deed to reflect that you are now the sole owner. Similarly, changing titles on vehicles, bank accounts, and investment portfolios ensures that everything is legally in your name and prevents future complications when transferring or selling those assets. It's also important to understand the difference between beneficiary designations and what's stated in a will. As mentioned earlier, life insurance policies, IRAs, 401(k), and payable on death (POD) accounts pass directly to the named beneficiary, regardless of what the will says. If those designations aren't updated after the spouse's death, assets could end up going to someone who is no longer alive or to someone you no longer intend to benefit. Finally, failing to consult with an estate attorney or tax professional can be a costly oversight. They can help you determine whether estate taxes apply, guide you through the probate process, and ensure that your own estate plan reflects your current wishes. This is especially important if you have a blended family, own a business, or have significant assets that require careful management. By addressing these potential pitfalls head-on, you can avoid unnecessary legal battles, reduce tax burdens, and ensure a smoother transition of assets to your loved ones. Part 6. Final thoughts and action steps. Moving forward with confidence. As we bring this series to a close, it's important to take a moment and reflect on everything we've covered. Losing a spouse is not just an emotional turning point. It's a life-altering event that requires careful handling of legal, financial, and personal decisions. You've now learned about the 5 most costly mistakes people make after losing their partner. Rushing into major financial decisions too soon, failing to update legal documents and beneficiary designations, mishandling Social Security and pension benefits, neglecting health insurance and medical expense planning, ignoring estate taxes and probate pitfalls. Each of these areas has the potential to create long-term consequences if overlooked or handled without proper care. But the good news is you now have the knowledge to avoid them. Let's end this video by going over a few final thoughts and practical action steps you can take right away to start protecting your future. Action step number 1. Take your time before making big decisions. Grief affects everyone differently, but one thing is certain: your decision-making ability may be clouded in the early stages of loss. If someone pressures you to sell property, close accounts, or sign legal documents quickly, take a deep breath and remind yourself, you are allowed to slow down. Ask questions. Get second opinions. And don't feel guilty about waiting until you're ready. You'll thank yourself later when you look back and know you made thoughtful, informed choices rather than impulsive ones. Action step number 2. Make a checklist of immediate tasks. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the number of things that need attention after a spouse passes away. That's why creating a checklist can help you stay organized and reduce stress. Here's a sample list to get you started. Notify banks, insurance companies, and government agencies like Social Security. Locate and review all legal documents. Will, trust, power of attorney, healthcare directives. Update beneficiary designations on retirement accounts, life insurance policies, and bank accounts. Contact Medicare or your insurance provider to confirm coverage. Review pension and survivor benefit options. Meet with an estate attorney or financial advisor to discuss next steps. Having a plan helps you regain control and ensures nothing falls through the cracks. Action step number 3. Seek professional guidance when needed. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. In fact, seeking help from professionals is one of the smartest things you can do. Consider reaching out to a financial advisor who specializes in senior planning and estate planning, attorney to ensure your documents are up to date, a tax professional who understands widow tax implications, a Social Security expert to maximize your benefits, a grief counselor or support group to help you process your emotions. These experts can guide you through complex processes and help you make confident decisions that protect your future. Action step number 4. Stay connected with family and friends during this time. Don't isolate yourself. Lean on those who care about you, whether it's sharing your feelings, asking for help with paperwork, or simply having someone to talk to over coffee. Connection is healing. Be honest with loved ones about what you need. Sometimes people want to help but aren't sure how. Give them specific tasks or let them know when you just need someone to listen. And remember, it's okay to ask for space when you need it, too. Grief moves at its own pace. Honor your journey while staying open to support when it feels right. Action step number 5. Revisit your own estate plan regularly. If there's one lasting lesson from this entire series, it's this: planning ahead protects both you and your loved ones. Now that you've gone through this experience, consider updating your own estate plan to reflect your current wishes. This includes updating your will or trust, naming new beneficiaries, choosing a new healthcare proxy, and power of attorney. Planning for long-term care needs, considering funeral or memorial arrangements in advance. By taking these steps, you give your family peace of mind and help prevent unnecessary disputes or confusion in the future. Final message: you are stronger than you think. We want to leave you with a final word of encouragement. You are stronger than you think. Even though this chapter of your life may feel heavy, uncertain, or lonely at times, know that you are capable of navigating it with grace and resilience. You've already taken a powerful step by watching this video and learning how to protect yourself financially and emotionally. Keep building on that strength. Take small steps forward each day. Surround yourself with support. And remember, healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means finding a way to carry your love and memories forward while living fully. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope this video brought you clarity, comfort, and confidence as you move forward after the loss of a spouse. If you found this content helpful, Please hit the like button, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to our channel for more videos focused on empowering seniors to live with dignity, wisdom, and security. Remember, you are not alone. There is support, guidance, and hope available to you every step of the way. Until next time, take care of yourself and those you love.